Alright Trent, here's what we're going to do. I got your list for the majority of the stuff that you want to work on. I'm going to try and fit as much of it into a video format as possible. Obviously I can't teach you from start to finish different aspects or different approaches or fix the things that I see that you need to work on, but I can give you a good technical foundation for moving around the net, which is the most important thing. You're always going to be continuously working on your movement, and that's going to be the foundation of your game. The faster you can get where you need to go, the easier it is for you to get set up, and the earlier you're set up, the easier it is for you to make saves. You're using the 4 rules for moving around the net. Always starting with your visual lead, then you're gonna have your rotation, your load and gather, which is the same for standing and being down, and then your push, okay? Your load and gather, what you're gonna do is your front knee is coming back into your body, your back leg is gonna be, you have to get your entire blade on the ice. Can't push off just the toe, just the heel, just the side. So you're really gonna have to get that knee and that pad up in the air, okay? When you're pushing, your front leg needs to be flared, which is to say your butterfly needs to be as wide as possible, because as you're covering area, shots can come. So you're gonna wanna have as much coverage moving to the point that you're going as possible, okay? One thing I wanna show you is when you're doing your momentum builds, your load and gather, the 3rd stage of movement. These are going to be the most important points. Your blade's going to be on the ice. Your front knee needs to come in, but it can't be on the ice. You need to pick your front knee up off the ice. That way you're not pushing against it, okay? From the back, here's what it's going to look like. My knee's off the ice. My front, I'm pretty much like in a wall sit on my loading leg, and my gather is coming into the center of my body, all right? So here it is. From the side, you should be able to see how low I am in my stance. I'm pretty much on a wall sit, okay? There's no weight on my front foot. That way I can push and cover large areas. And all the weight is on my back leg, my push leg, so I can get power. Look how low you need to get your power, okay? Keeping your chest high the entire time. That's how you're going to want to move every time. Everything we do is going to be focused through the center, all right? You'll notice that when I move from one angle to the other, I'm starting on an angle, I'm using a T-push, and instead of T-pushing straight across the top of the crease, I'm coming back through the center of the crease and then back out onto my angle. That's giving you power, and you're always going to want to move through the center of your crease. If you do that, you can also extend your T-push for a lot longer distances, all right? What I'm going to show you right now is just the backside of how you should be recovering, how you should be moving all the time. What these are called, one is called the backside push, which is when you stay down on your knees and you're changing your angle and moving across the net while you're down. And the other is called a backside recovery, which is where you're coming back to your feet as you're changing your angle. So just go ahead and watch. So visual lead, get your eyes on the puck. Number 2, you're going to get your rotation, find the angle. Number 3 is your load and gather. And 4 is your actual push. All right, here goes. This is going to be the exact same stuff, but from the front side, just so that you can see it. So this is the front side. I'm going to do the exact same thing. Backside push, which is while I'm moving across the crease down. Backside recovery, which is where I'm moving across the crease up. Okay, so the entire point and purpose of this type of movement is to eliminate extra time, okay? Before, you'd be in a butterfly, like I used to play, pop right back up, and that you're stuck, okay? You made a save on your glove side, puck went to your blocker side, you pop back to your feet, and then you're standing in your stance, and then you have to move out of that. That's extra movement. Smartest thing for you to do is to find your angle in the fastest, most efficient way possible. If you know that you have to push off your back foot, why not make that the only foot you rise to, right? Why get up on both feet, then transfer your weight to your back foot, then ride to the front side, get where you're going, okay? So, what we're doing is we're eliminating that middle movement. We're using only the leg that we're gonna push off of, okay? That's the only skate blade that's contacting the ice before we make motion to where we need to go. You're gonna pretty much use this in every aspect of your game. You're taking away decision making, okay? Any save you make, rotate your body, find the angle, push to where you need to be, then recover. If it's out high, you have a lot of time, you can do a backside recovery. If it's in close, you're gonna use a backside push. Let me show you an example, a bad example of how I used to play. Shot came in from a glove side angle, made a save, puck went to my blocker side, I had to recover, there's a one-timer, and I gotta fill that piece of the net. This is what we used to do. It's not very efficient. As you can see in that example, when you rise to your feet, there's an extra movement. First off, you're still on the same angle, so you haven't changed angle, which means you need to rotate your chest before you can go anywhere. Secondly, your legs are in a wide spread, so you can't get very much power out of your push. Your back foot is already on an angle, and your front foot is already heading in the direction that it needs to go. What that does, takes your body, instead of it being in the middle, separates it, and then you try to get power from there. It's impossible to get very much power when everything's already extended. So remember, in all your game, keep everything in the middle, try to make as many saves through your chest, through the center of your body, covering net, okay? That's what we're doing. We're getting where we need to go. We're turning into a blocking situation, reacting with our hands and legs if need be. So let me show you what we'll do now in that exact same situation. See how we can cover. It's much faster, we change the angle, and we have all of our save coverage already moving toward the puck. That's why our front leg is already leading, it's already flared, it's already down, okay? see how much more efficient that is? It looks like I'm pulling away from the puck, but in reality, I'm preparing myself to make a save, an easier save. I don't have to reach for it. I have all the coverage to the center of my net. So, if they have to beat me, they're gonna have to beat me to a top angle or low on the post. The thing is, all my body parts, my legs, my knees, my hands, they're all in close to my body, which means that the spot that I'm in is not all the coverage that I offer. If they shoot to the post, I can extend my arms, I can extend my legs, cover an even wider area than the blocking service that I already have, okay? Is this starting to make sense? I'm sure you probably already know a lot of this, so we're gonna get into the examples of the stuff that you wanted to work on. Okay, so two of the top points that you mentioned were that your recovery was too slow and your butterfly slides. You need to work on your butterfly slides. Implementing these moves into every save and every movement that you make is gonna give you power, okay? This is gonna speed up your recovery. Instead of coming pop back up to your feet like we used to, which doesn't make any sense because now you have to rotate your body, cover the area, then make a save, we're just gonna stay where we're at. Okay? If you make a down save, move in a down motion. If the puck comes off your pads and it's high to the point, then you can go ahead and recover to your feet, get set up. But in close, anything below the dots, you might as well cover the angle down. And if you have time, when you get to the point that you're at, rise up and regain your depth. From point to post on your butterfly slide, what the most important thing is, you're gonna get your rotation. There's two ways to do it, okay? You can either be out high, rotate, load and gather, and then fill the space back to the post, or you can do what's called a momentum build, where you actually do a quick C cut and then rotate into it, all right? These all depend on timing and they all depend on depth, all right? So here's the two examples, and you should be able to cover a ton of area with this, all right? Make sure that when you're backing in, you're gonna bring your front foot, don't try to extend it to where the puck is. Bring your front foot back into the center of your body, dropping that knee, getting your coverage, and then fill the space. That way you don't spread out, that way you get a strong push. Okay, this is the one without momentum build. This is momentum build. As you can see, with your momentum build, you can cover a lot of area really fast, but you don't want to use it unless it's out high and you're chasing the man and he makes a wide pass all the way across. As often as possible, you're just going to want to rotate, fill that space, all right? One of the big things that we're going to want to remember while we're doing this style, after you make a save on an angle, everything that you're doing, you're covering the center of the crease, okay? So if I make a save at the top of the crease and the rebound comes out to the high slot, go from the top of the crease to the top of the crease in the center. I'm covering a lot of area, and when I do that, I'm creating a lot of holes. So I don't want to do that, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate my body, I made the save, rotate my body, fill the center of the net, then I have all my coverage. I'm deeper, of course, but I have coverage. If I'm out high and they make a pass to the back door or decide to go around me, I'm scrambling, okay? And that's not what we want. But first I'm gonna show you an example of a play where I would be chasing the puck. It's called chasing space, chasing an angle. It doesn't make sense. If they make a backdoor pass or go around me, I'm too high out and I end up diving, okay? So I'll show you. As you can see there, I made the initial save, the rebound came out to the center, and I tried to cover an angle going high. Doesn't make sense though, because he can make a pass. He's not going to shoot the puck all the time. As soon as he makes that pass, or as soon as he dekes, I'm out high and I have no coverage, okay? So you saw that I'm going to end up having to dive. I'm screwed pretty much. What we're going to want to do instead, make the save, rotate to the center of the net, and then if I need to, regain depth. Now in that situation, you could see, made the initial save, the rebound came out to the center. I covered the center of the net, so I had all my coverage. I'd have to reach to make a save, but I had all my coverage. Then I regained my depth. If he holds onto the puck, bam, then I can cover that angle. Then if he passes, I can cover. But we don't want to ever be moving out away from the net in motion, unless there's no one behind us and no other shooting opportunities, okay? You said that you wanted to work on using your height to your advantage. Here's what you're gonna do. Make sure that your feet aren't getting too far away from your body, okay? Don't let them get too wide in your stance. Don't sink. If you are gonna sink down, make sure that your back and your chest and your shoulders, everything's high and your butt sinks down, okay? If you're standing and your knees don't make any move and your ass doesn't sink down, you're not really doing anything for yourself. You're not creating power in your legs. You're making the situation more difficult, okay? So this is an example of what you do not want to do. As you can see from that, my knees do not bend. I am not creating anything. All I'm doing is taking away the blocking area of my body and I'm making it smaller than it already is. If you want power for getting around the net, keep your chest and your shoulders as high as possible and drop your knees and your ass, okay? That's how you create power. If you want to play tall, if you want to play high, think of a guy like Roberto Luongo. When the puck is far away from the net, they play what's called a relaxed stance. You can stay high in your stance, you can keep your chest up high, you don't need power to get anywhere because the puck is far away from you. You don't need speed, you should be able to cover the area with T-pushes from an almost standing position, okay? So do that. Play a relaxed stance. Arms in where they're supposed to be, but not clenched, okay? Not extended. Keep them near your body, exactly covering your holes. If you need to, bam, then clench up. But a relaxed stance is where everything is ready to move as fast as possible. Nothing is clenched, okay? But when you're playing your relaxed stance, if you want to cover your area and you want to create power, use your chest. It's the biggest part of your body, so make sure you keep it high, all right? This is how you're going to want to do it. As you can see, I'm getting a lot more coverage with my chest. My knees are dropping, and when my knees drop, I'm creating power for being able to move around the net. If I'm standing tall and I get over my chest, I lose my balance and I can't push around the net, okay? So make sure, bam, chest and shoulders back, high, 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 high as possible, okay? This is what we're looking for. Not this is wrong. This, it's okay. Chest high, relaxed position. Got that? What you want to do on rebounds is something we've kind of already talked about. The question that you asked was, when you leave a rebound, should you rise to your feet? Should you cover in a half butterfly? Or should you just cover the puck? You're going to want to cover the puck as much as possible if it's close to you. If it's that close to you, you're never going to want to rise up. Actually, anything that's in close, you're not going to want to rise up. We've already talked about that. You're going to move, fill the angle while you're down, flare your pads, okay? and use a backside push. That's how you're gonna wanna cover as much wide space as possible. Now, if you make a save and the puck changes angle just a little bit and it's in close on you, you're gonna wanna make the save and then use what we call a knee shuffle. There's 5 ways to get around the net. 1 is a shuffle, and you're gonna use that for angle tightening. 2 is a T-push. You're gonna use that for covering wide areas when you have time. Usually, the rule will be that you use a T-push for passes, shuffles for when the guy's carrying the puck, okay? Because shuffles are small, tight angle adjustments. T-pushes are wide angle adjustments, okay? Then you have your backside push, which is when we're down and we're pushing across the net. We have our backside recovery, which is when we're down, we're pushing and recovering back to our feet using a T-push. And then we have the 5th one, which is the knee shuffle. The knee shuffle is just small little tightenings of your body to make sure to cover and change angle. The big thing you're gonna wanna remember when you're doing your knee shuffles is to keep your hips above your knees. If you sink down, if your chest comes over your feet, then it turns into a bit of a bobbing motion, all right? And I'll show you both. If you keep your hips above your knees, you're going like this. You can go straight along, straight along, straight along. If you start to sink back, it turns into this right here. You're losing area, all right? So these are the examples for small angle changes. See, now as you can see, when the puck's in close, I can use knee shuffles. I'm not creating any holes, I'm just changing the angle and I'm covering my angle. When the puck gets away from me, when the rebound goes to the corner, I'm gonna use my backside push. All right, so that's how you're gonna wanna recover. If the puck stays in close to you, cover it up. I know you talked about looking through the net. If you're a little bit taller now and there's not much play happening and you can stand up, you can look over the bar and move in a stance, okay? But the majority of the time, if the puck's in close, you're gonna wanna be in your stance and you're gonna be down low enough that the bar is not gonna get in your way, okay? You should never be moving where the bar is at your head. If you can't see, just look underneath it, look through the net, all right? So this is gonna be 2 examples. 1, where the puck's away from me and there's no pressure and I can look over my shoulder and over the bar. 2, where there's pressure, the puck's in close, it's a tight rebound. I'm gonna keep my stance low. I'm gonna use my VH, which is my vertical horizontal, which is when my pad is up the post on one side and my far side pad is covering the center of the net, all right? So these are both examples. Those are 2 examples of what you're gonna wanna do when the puck is high and there's no pressure. You can move and move around the net. As soon as it drops down low, you're gonna wanna use your VH as much as possible, cover as much net as possible, and force them to beat you, okay? Real quick, I know you said you wanted to work on your recovery from your back. First off, you don't want to be on your back very often, but if for some reason you are, there is really only one way to get up, okay? You lay on your back, you're gonna sit up, keeping your legs out in front of you, okay? You're gonna bring your glove hand around to the side, use it as a push. Put your glove hand right near your butt, set it in, push off of it, rise to your feet, bring the rest of your body forward, okay? This is just, if you wanna get quick at it, it's totally just a practice thing, all right? Here's how you're gonna do it. As you can see, you're just gonna get your hand back around. Make sure you pull your feet in. It's kind of difficult to explain. Sit yourself up as high as you possibly can. Keep your legs completely straight. And when you push up, swing your feet back underneath you, all right? Use your glove or use your blocker hand and your stick as leverage to balance yourself out. If you keep your stick in close to your body, you're not gonna be able to get, some people say, oh, fill the hole in front of your legs. Makes sense, but it makes it harder to get up. So you're losing speed when you do that. I like to put my glove hand down, my blocker hand out in front of me, use it as balance. It helps to pull me forward, all right? Okay, what I'm gonna work on now is called PSM. It's post-save movement. Has nothing to do with pucks. This is strictly working on technique, power, movement, all that stuff. The stuff that I showed you earlier in the video, the way you're supposed to be moving, your T-pushes, your shuffles, backside pushes, backside recoveries, and knee shuffles, PSM incorporates all of them. You should be doing these all the time, whenever you have free second outside the net, before practices, warm up, everything. You want to continuously get better. If you get better at this, you'll get where you need to be all the time, and making saves will become a lot easier because you have your whole body there ready to explode out from the center, okay? Okay, so long arrows through the middle of the crease, those are T-glides, short arrows are shuffles, flat lines are stops, BTs are butterflies, VH is V8 is vertical horizontal, and a small squiggly line with an arrow is your butterfly slide, and then small little C-looking lines, those are your C cuts. So momentum builds and depth varies, okay? When you're doing these PSMs, don't just do them, okay? Make sure you're focused. You don't go fast until you get good, okay? You do them for 30 seconds a piece, rest for 45 seconds. And if you want to, after you've done them and you're starting to pick up after you've done them and you're starting to pick up the technical ability, then you start working for speed, okay? 10-second burst, getting as far and as fast as you can, getting out of your comfort zone. Your hands are gonna be all over the place, your legs are gonna be trying to push as hard as possible, just going for speed. It's aerobic, and the point of that is to get yourself in motion and to increase the speed that you've already developed, okay? You do not need a net for these. You just need an open area on the ice. That's all I do them on. That's all any goalie does them on. An open area of the ice before or after practice, during practice, off the side of the net, wherever, okay? So I'm gonna do a couple more PSMs for you to see, and then you can start working on them yourself, all right?